Hello my beautiful friends and family, and welcome to today's video, which is a little bit different than our usual videos because today we are going to be sharing a story time. In fact, we're going to be sharing 2 stories in this time. And the reason I want to do this video is because the other day, well this weekend, I had all of my best friends over and we basically just were sharing stories and stuff just because it was my birthday and it was super fun, which by the way, thank you guys all for sending me birthday messages. I really appreciate that. While we were sharing stories back and forth, it made me remember these 2 stories of when I actually got extremely close to death. And I know a lot of people said like my near-death experience and stuff, but these are actually stories where I legitimately was a split second away from death. I hope you guys enjoy my story time, and if you have any near-death experiences, leave them in the comments below. Okay, so we're gonna start with the one that was the closest to me dying. This is a freaking scary story, and in the moment, it just happened so fast that I didn't realize how intense it was. Basically, me and LP, my brother, so if you've been on the channel for a really long time, you remember LP. The first Olympia that we went to, which is in Vegas, we were driving back from it. And if you don't know about expos, fitness expos, it's like go, 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 go. You're literally going for maybe 12 hours a day, and then you're getting very little sleep, waking up and doing it all over again. So by the time we got to the end of the weekend, we decided instead of staying from Sunday to Monday and driving back Monday, we were just gonna skip the hotel fee and just drive through the night on Sunday night. And I'm generally pretty good with that. Like I don't really have like I don't run out of energy very quickly. So while LP's like, are you sure, man, we can do it, I'll split it with you and stuff. I'm like, no, it's all good, dude. I'll go and drive. If you need to fall asleep, you can do it. It's all good. The drive from Vegas to San Diego is something like, I think it's like 5 hours, something like that. It's been a little bit since I did it. But we are driving back from Vegas and everything is going completely kosher. I think we're maybe 3 hours onto the road, and you know how it is. If you're driving in the nighttime, it's way different than the daytime. In the daytime, you get to look to your left and right, you get to see mountains, or you get to see grass passing by. There's other drivers, lots of drivers. It keeps you stimulated. You can just see a lot more. When it's nighttime, you can only see as far as your headlights go, and then it's just little white blinkers on both sides of you, just and you just start zoning out. And a lot of people like completely, they're driving but they're not really there. They're just like whoa, I don't remember the last 15 minutes of driving. Luckily I was really attentive this night. I don't know, maybe I just felt like, you know, I really needed to make sure that I wasn't getting sleepy or anything like that. So I was like playing music and I was just really thinking about all the stuff that had just happened. First expo ever, so I was really excited. I was thinking about all the people that I met and stuff, and people who had watched the channel who came up. It was the first time I ever experienced people who were subscribed to the channel coming up to me. So I was zinged up. LP ended up falling asleep. So LP's in the passenger seat, completely zonked out. And I'm just driving, and I notice a car coming you know, this way, which happens, you know, every couple minutes there's a car coming from the other side of the freeway, and when it's far enough away, it looks like they're on the other side of the freeway. You know, they're just coming straight at you, but then, you know, when they get closer to you, they're on the other side of the freeway and they're just zinging by. And you see one every couple minutes because it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. And this particular car, I see the headlights and it's coming towards me, but it's on the other side of the freeway, right? And then it gets closer, and then I'm like, no, wait, this guy's on my side of the freeway, in the fast lane where I'm at. He must be drunk. Like my mind just starts going boom, 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 boom. And this is all in a very short, like, I don't know, 5-6 seconds span. But in my brain I go, this guy's in my lane. He's on my side of the freeway. There are 5 lanes on my side of the freeway, or 4 lanes or whatever it is. And he is in the fast lane. He is in my lane coming straight towards me. I have to move to the side. But then in the same second, I'm thinking, do I move drastically? Because if this guy's really drunk, maybe he's just gonna be dumb enough to just drive towards the lights. He's gonna follow my headlights. And I'm like, do I move fast? Do I turn my headlights then move fast? Do I move just one lane? What do I do? All this happens really, really quickly, and I decide I'm not gonna turn off my headlights because then maybe he won't see me and will think the lights disappeared or something and try to like swerve to get away from me or something, I don't know. And I decided not to do a drastic change 5 lanes because he might follow me. I decided to just, as smoothly as possible, quickly move 2 lanes over. So I move into the 3rd lane and he's in the fast lane. And literally as soon as I had made that decision and moved 1-2 lanes, then he flies by me. Like that quick. It was like, oh crap, there's the guy, all these processes and stuff, 1 second, 2 second, move, 3 second, 4 second, gone, and the guy went by me. Like, so if I would have not been attentive that day, if I would have been zoning out, and if I would have just assumed that that guy was on the other side of the freeway, he would have just blasted me. We're both going, you know, whatever it is, right? The speed limit's 65, but everybody's going like 85, 90, whatever it is, he would have just blasted me. If I would have been dozed off, or I would have been just kind of like zoning out, whatever it was, he would have blasted me. LP wakes up right afterwards because I'm like, holy crap, dude. And he's like, what? And he looks by and he looks and sees the guy's red lights going back on this side. And he's like, what's going on? I'm like, that guy was just on our side of the freeway. I think a drunk driver just flew by us. And then 10, 15 seconds later, like 8, 10 cop cars fly down the correct side of the freeway by us, and they're chasing that guy down. I don't know what ended up happening. I don't know if he was drunk, but that is the closest I've ever gotten to death. And it freaked the crap out of me. My heart was just beating. I was like adrenalined up. Me and LP then were up for the next 2 hours just chatting and talking and being like, did that really just happen, dude? That is the most intense thing I've ever been through in terms of near-death experiences. Now, the other one was also a near-death experience, but I was with a group of friends, so we were all in the same amount of danger, and it was out of my control. So in a way, it might have been more scary, but you'll see what I'm talking about. I was in high school. Maybe we were 15 years old. Yeah, I think we were like sophomores or juniors, maybe 16 years old. And my friend had a really cool house. It was like a 3-story house. I don't know how exactly it happened, but like his dad and him ended up getting this really, really cool house, kind of out in like the country, I guess is what you would call it. Like it's called like Wildcat Canyon area. It's like in the Indian Reserves area, and so it's kind of a ways out. It's not like where I live, where it's like hacked houses next to each other, next to each other, next to each other. There's lots of room around each house. There's lots of property and stuff. And so we all went up there because we were celebrating that he had this super dope house. It had all this really cool stuff, and we were up there being delinquents, having fun. We were drinking a little bit. Of course, underage drinking. I don't condone it, but we were, and we wanted to just goof around, do stuff. We wanted to adventure. Like one of the things we always enjoyed was like walking around and like running around and going around the neighborhood and just moving around whenever we were drinking a little bit and stuff. And that night, while we were outside of the house, because obviously we couldn't drink in the house with his dad there, we were drinking, and somebody drove by us and was like, hey dudes, and we're like kind of like in the brush on a hill. They're like, hey dudes, do you know where the party is? And we're like, no. They're like, you don't know where Ashley's party is? And we're like, no. So like they had said the name, and we're like, no, we're looking for it too. So we were just trying to get into an adventure, and we're like, well, maybe if you're looking for the party, we'll look for it too. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I think it's down this road, down this and that, and we ended up, because more people came, we kept like talking to them and getting more information, and we kind of pinned down where we needed to go. So we were like, let's do it, man. We are young little kids, and this is a college party. Obviously, these kids are much older than us, and let's go see what what this is, which is kind of a weird thing, and it was kind of out of character for all of us, but we were just like, let's do it, man. If it's weird and if it's awkward, then screw it. At least we had a little adventure. We'll have something to talk about. So we finally get to this person's house. We walk in, the door's open. We just like kind of pretend like we're supposed to be there, like we know somebody that invited us or something, and it was really awkward, super obvious that we weren't supposed to be there. Some people were talking to us, and then eventually the owner of the house, or like the person who was throwing the party, was like, who are you guys? And we're like, oh, we know Ashley. And then she's like, that's me, I'm Ashley. And so we're talking to her and stuff, and it was kind of weird. But what ended up happening is they were like, you can stay, like it's cool, it's whatever, you know, like if you live around here, it's kind of fun, whatever, enjoy yourself. But it was just so awkward, and lots of people were staring at us and stuff, and rightfully so. We were like way younger, and we weren't from their little cliques and stuff. And so we kind of were like, let's get out of here. But at the same time, to them, they don't know us, and we just randomly showed up, and we've been in their house and stuff. So now they're thinking like, why did these guys come in here? And if they're leaving, why are they leaving so early when they just got in here? Are they stealing from us? What is it? And I remember, so we were like try to inch towards the door, and then we were near the door, and someone was like, are those guys leaving? Get them. And they're probably just meant like, get them so we can talk to them real quick, see that they didn't steal anything. But in my mind, fight or flight, man. When I get in danger, I run, bro. I'm out. And I ran. I immediately started running. And my other 3 friends were just like, oh, okay, he's running. All right, okay, so we have to run too, because now it looks like we did something. And if we don't run, then we're going to have to deal. And then they start running. So then all 4 of us are running. We're running. And the people are chasing us. We're in the middle of soccer season. Like, we're really, really fit. So we run all the way up the street. These people are all like drinking kids, you know what I mean? They're not really in shape. So they stop running after us. We run, and then we hide behind like a big hay bale thing. And then we just like hold it out. Then they get in their cars and start driving, and they're like looking for us and stuff. They're like creeping along the street, and like they got their high beams on, and we're literally just like hiding behind stuff. And so then it was a game of trying to run from this thing to the next thing before the next car came, or before another car looked back. And we'd run and hide behind this thing, and then run behind that thing. And at one point we hid behind these big ass rocks, and in these rocks we kind of felt like we couldn't continue on the road because the next part of the road had no things to hide on. It was like a big stretch. And these kids were like pretty determined, man. Like it was every 20 seconds or so another car would come by. And so we were like, okay, we can either continue down the road and probably get caught by them. Who knows? Maybe they'll beat us up. Who knows what they're gonna do? We don't know what kind of kids these are. We know some pretty sketchy kids at our school, so who knows about these kids? And we're like, okay, or the other option is we can cut across the field and go without the streets. We can just cut across the field randomly and jump fences until we get to our house again. So we decided to go with that one. We jump a little wood fence type thing. It's like wild farmy kind of area, lots of land and stuff, lots of random developments and stuff. And so we're running through the dark, and back then it wasn't iPhone season. It was like it was a little bit before iPhones. It was like razors and stuff. So we had our display as the light, but it's not like the flashlight that you're used to with the iPhone that blasts everything, you can see everything. We're literally just putting it close to the ground so we can see that we're not stepping into like barbed wire or something like that. But literally we're running in the dark, and we're kind of like moving fast, but not like sprinting running. And by this time, we know that they're not chasing us anymore, but now we still want to get across the damn field. And we're going, we jump a few more little wooden fences and stuff, and then we're like literally in between halfway in the field. It's just completely pitch black. And we hear this growl. Dude, we hear a growl that's like deep and girthy, and it's got like that, like it's got like a muffle to it. I don't know. It's got one of the. It's not a cow, for example. You know what I mean? It's something big, and so we all just stop. Literally, just like adrenaline hits us, and we stop moving, and we're all just like, "What is this?" And I hadn't heard this until we were talking about this story this past weekend. Ian told me that he felt hot breath on his hand from whatever that thing was that had growled. I didn't know he had felt that. All I knew was what I felt and what I had heard or whatever, and what I had heard was that deep growl, and I knew that couldn't have come from something that wasn't bassy enough to have that kind of a growl. And so like, I was terrified. Basically what we did from there is we froze for a few seconds, like maybe 5-10 seconds, felt like 5 hours, and then we slowly started moving, and then we got like, I don't know, maybe, I have no idea, maybe 50 yards away, I don't know. And then we started to run. And I don't know if that was a good or bad choice or whatever, but whatever that thing was, I still don't know to this day. I feel like it was some sort of like mountain lion, some sort of lion that was out, like, not a lion, but you know, like a cat of some sort that was out there. Who knows? I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a wolf or something. Maybe it was a coyote. I don't know what it was, but it was thick, man. And we made it out. We made it through and over some more fence. We finally made it to like another stretch of street that was kind of in between two farms, and we followed that street back to the main street, got back to his house, and then we all just sat there, and we're just like, I can't believe that we just made it out of there. We were like blown away that we had made it away from the college kids, but then when we were thinking back on that animal that we had made it away from, it was just like, I can't believe that we didn't just die. And now, to this day, it's cool because that's the one story that, like, while I've had that near-death experience with LP, that was the one that I had with like my best friends that was so close that we all share. So those are the 2 times in my life that I have been the closest to death, an actual near-death experience. And I remember when I was younger, I was always hearing other people talking about their near-death experiences, and I was like, man, I would love to have one of those one day. It'd be so cool to have that story, but it is not cool. I wish I had never gotten through, like, I wish those had never happened to me at all, and I hope I never have another near-death experience. Those are the 2 times that were like the most intense though. I've had very dangerous situations before. If you followed the channel before, you know that I've done really, I don't know, dangerous, goofy things. Like, for example, the hike at Grand Canyon, I was supposed to have crampons, basically like spikes in the bottom of my feet, my shoes, and then I was just wearing skate shoes. And at one point, I started sliding down this huge slope, and on each side of it, there's no guardrail. It's just a big-ass drop. I wouldn't say that those are near death. Those I wouldn't call near death, but I would say that those were very, very dangerous. And I'm a lot more cautious now. I have more experience, and I don't plan to be having more near-death experience. I like to hear people's stories. I think it's really fun. And I haven't done a story time in a long time, so I thought I would do a story time today. I hope it entertained you guys, all my YouTube moms and dads. I'm fine. I won't be doing any more stupid stuff. But if you have any near-death experiences, again, I would love to hear them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Again, let me know what you thought of my story in the comments below, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Team Beyond the Week, CT.
Lift heavy or die MIRIN, motherfucker.
Team Beyond the Week.